So, Rishi Sunak is the new Prime Minister of the United Kingdom and is the first brown-skinned Prime Minister in British history. Now, I call that the immigrant strain. In today's video, we'll be looking at what the appointment of Rishi Sunak as a Prime Minister means for you as an immigrant in the United Kingdom or an aspiring immigrant in the United Kingdom, and especially the reappointment of Suella Braverman as the Home Secretary of the United Kingdom. Now, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe so you might get notified every time we drop a video like this. And while at that, click the notification button so you get notified every time we drop a video. Now that is done, let's get to it. You might know already that Rishi Sunak, along with his wife, is regarded as one of the richest people in the United Kingdom. Now, would this mean that he will have empathy for new immigrants or aspiring immigrants into the United Kingdom, especially with regards to the fact that he himself is from immigrants' parents? It is very interesting, the speech that he made when he was running for Prime Minister.
Let me tell you a story about a young woman almost a lifetime ago who boarded a plane armed with hope for a better life and the love of her family. This young woman came to Britain, where she managed to find a job, but it took her nearly a year to save enough money for her husband and children to follow her. One of those children was my mother, aged 15. My mum studied hard and got the qualifications to become a pharmacist. She met my dad, an NHS GP, and they settled in Southampton. Their story didn't end there, but that is where my story began. Family is everything to me, and my family gave me opportunities they could only dream of. But it was Britain, our country, that gave them and millions like them the chance of a better future. I got into politics because I want everyone in this country to have those same opportunities, to be able to give their children a better future. Our country faces huge challenges, the most serious for a generation, and the decisions we make today will decide whether the next generation of British people will also have the chance of a better future. Do we confront this moment with honesty, seriousness, and determination, or do we tell ourselves comforting fairy tales that might make us feel better in the moment but will leave our children worse off tomorrow? Someone has to grip this moment and make the right decisions. That's why I'm standing to be the next leader of the Conservative Party and your Prime Minister. I want to lead this country in the right direction. I ran the toughest department in government during the toughest times when we faced the nightmare of COVID. My values are non-negotiable: patriotism, fairness, hard work. We've had enough of division. Politics at its best is a unifying endeavour, and I have spent my career bringing people together, because that is the only way to succeed. In the coming days and weeks, I will set out my vision for how we can build a better future for our country. I've told you a bit about my story, but I'm running to be our next Prime Minister because it's your stories that matter most. Your futures.
This can be an immigrant's dream. However, it could also be a nightmare for new immigrants. One of the first moves that Rishi Sunak made was to reinstate Suella Braverman. Now, our days out of the office didn't last for too long, did it? This isn't a surprise because when Rishi was running against Liz Truss, both candidates were hard on immigration. Now, with the reappointment of Suella Braverman, this might just be showing us the body language of this administration. Some will argue that this was just a political move. However, Suella Braverman has always stated that the Conservatives are not necessarily hard on immigration. So in my estimation, I would assume that the strong stance of Suella Braverman will remain the same. You might want to listen to what I said previously. As you might know already, United Kingdom universities have very high acceptance rates for students applying to the universities. And most of the time, it's almost guaranteed that you get a visa once you get an acceptance letter from most of the universities. Now, from the statement by the Home Secretary, it looks like dependents are going to be cut from these visas. So most likely, even when you get an acceptance letter from the universities in the United Kingdom, you might get a visa, but your dependent might not be able to get a visa. The exact details of this is yet to be known, but this is the most likely scenario. It looks like the UK government is trying to target those with high experience, which will mean people with very many years of experience, and perhaps this could also apply to people coming for their PhDs or their master's degree. It is very likely that those that will be going for their undergraduate studies might not be granted visas for their dependents. It is still possible, however, that even PhDs and master's students might still be affected by this. Now, the next question is, what would happen to those already in the country? So let's hypothetically say that you just got into the country this year, and if this plan comes into place next year, you'll be able to finish your course of study, and after that, just like 2012, most likely you might be given about 4 months to get a job, after which if you do not get a job in 4 months, you might unfortunately have to leave. However, they might shift base a little bit here and make this rule a little bit different for those that have already been granted student visas. Now, as there's so many speculations, you're just gonna have to be on the watch out on this one. So what then do you do while you wait for the UK Home Secretary to make a decision and you already have a student visa? The best thing would be for you to start networking now and hoping you might be able to get a job immediately after you finish school, as you might just have very few months to be able to do this. And then what do you do if you don't have a student visa yet? You might stand a better chance if you have years of experience from the country you're coming from. The next few days are going to state a whole lot of things that you're going to have to do. At this point, there's so many uncertainty. You might want to broaden your horizon. For instance, you might want to see the other options that you might have in Europe. So if you'd like to see a video on that, click on this video. Remember, it is the Deliberate Expert, and have a beautiful day.